What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range case study on US30. So without further ado, let's get right on into the charts. So first things first, I'm going to start off by marking up the previous day's high and the previous day's low. So we got the previous day's high. As you can see, it got ran through early on in the day. This is London session. Now let's get the previous day's low, which is all the way down here. That also got ran through a little bit later on in the day. But before I get into explaining everything in between, let's get the Asian session range, the 12 a.m. open. All right, get the Asian session range and the 12 a.m. open. Now I want you guys to pay attention to specific areas in price. I want you to pay attention to this area up here, this area down here, this area over here, and this area right here. Now this is before I do all the annotations, but now that we have the overall outline of everything that's happening, I'm going to slowly explain everything that happened throughout today and why overall today ended up being a bearish London continuation move and how I was able to anticipate this move and how I was able to actually capture this move. So first things first, I want to start off by noting this area and price up here. So we had this is the 12 a.m. open. We had this run above price that came above, cleared the previous day's high. But right when it cleared it, it immediately starting to lose momentum and shift back below it. So we cleared the Asian session high, so we're going to annotate this. So at what time? 2 a.m. we had the high of the day. So 2 a.m. we had the high of the day, plus we cleared the Asian range high, plus the previous day high, which ended up being a false break. And this is what ended up creating the overall high of the day. And we also keep in mind where we were in price. We were at 34,000 big figure level. So let's add that in there also. Plus we're at 34,000 big figure level. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Just like that. So now that we have this annotated, I want you guys to look all the way to the left because there's one more confirmation that gave me the reason to believe why I wanted to see price continue going lower. So as you can see, if I put the day of the week, this is where the market opened right over here. So when the market opened, it left this major gap in price, right? So that's one thing. The gap isn't what is important. But keep in mind, if I draw this all the way over, the gap was fully filled when the market opened right here. There was still this much of the gap still filled that needed to be filled. I'm going to make it just red for right now. So we had this gap that still needed to be filled. So right here, when we got this run above price, tapped into 34,000, created the high of the day at 2 a.m. So London session was creating the high of the day after clearing the Asian session high, grabbing all that liquidity, clearing the previous day's high, having that false break, and immediately coming down lower. From that point on, this is why I was anticipating price to be the high of the day. So let's annotate this area over here. We're going to just annotate it as saying gap fully filled. So we have this gap fully filled. We're just going to have this over here. It's not a major indication, but nonetheless, it's still something to keep in mind because right when this got filled in, tapped into 34,000, cleared the high, and immediately starts to run lower. So at this point, this is the high of the day that we're going to be keeping into account because if we're overall looking for a continuation of this trend, this high is going to be very important. So then from here, price came down, created a low during 7 in the morning, and this low is going to be significant because this is going to be the low that we use to draw this fib that we're going to use to get into price. So right here, we had at 6:45 a.m., we had the New York session make a low. Now this is the low we're going to use to draw this fib. So now we're going to take this fib from this high, the London session high, to this New York session low. We're going to pull it in just like this. So in this case scenario, price didn't tap into the 62%. It got very close, but it ended up holding 38.20%. So we're just going to have this level right here. But that's not the only confirmation. So for one, we had this fib short, but we also had, if you look at this Asian session low and draw a line all the way over, I'm going to make this say, I'm going to just make it orange. I'm going to make it a straight line. So the Asian session low got retested into Asian session low, but then again, look where we are in price. We also retraced into 33,800 big figure level. So we had this fib short from the London session high and continuation of the overall London session trend that we wanted to see. Now we created this high of the day above the 12 a.m. open, cleared the previous day's high, had the false break, and immediately showed price wanting to come lower. So from here, we're ideally going to target the previous day's low in anticipation that is overall going to be a reversal as it was. So let's get these annotations in here. So we have 33,800 rejection, plus we had 38.20% fib short, along with the Asian range low retested. I cannot type today. The Asian range low retested. So we have 1, 2, 3 confirmations as of right now. We weren't below we didn't have this overall, the fib level we would ideally want us to see, but nonetheless, the continuation is an indication that price is in a strong trend. So now we have all these things happening, and from here, what did price do? Melted all the way down, and where did it stop? At 1:30 p.m. we had the low of the day. So at 1:30 p.m. we got the low of the day. Where in price? Was there a big figure level in here? Looks like it made the low of the day at 33,100, which is a mid. Now I wouldn't say a big figure level, but nonetheless, it's still a level that could be used. Not one that I would like to use. I like to use my 000s, my 800s, my 500s, and my 200s, but nonetheless, price didn't really respect this area. We do have 33,600 in here that was being respected a little bit, and that's where we made that low, where we got that retracement off of. But from here, price ended up falling off, targeting the previous day's low, coming all the way down to 33,100. 33,200 would have been the ideal target for me personally. I got out majority of this trade somewhere around here because my target was 33,200. I'm pretty sure it was 33,200 all the way down here. But price was taking significantly long to get there. So I took majority off somewhere in here. But that was my runner actually. I took my runner off down here. Majority of my position I got out once we cleared these lows because I had no reason to believe that price was going to continue down or go up. So I took my 1 to 3 trade and just got out there. But nonetheless, this is overall what happened today. Clean, bearish, London continuation, very high probability setup. Same thing with NAS 100. They both had very similar setups. But this is my bread and butter setup, and that's how I was able to risk more on this setup today because I had more of a reason to believe it was going to continue in this direction. So now let's get the schematic. We have the Asian session arranged. London session came up, cleared those highs. Price immediately dropped lower, had a retracement, and price continued to fall lower. So it was a very textbook London continuation, and these are the setups that I'm always going to risk more on just because I know they have a high probability of working out, and that's just due to having multiple case studies of it actually working. So trust me guys when I say the setups work, and when you see examples like this happen multiple times and you see specific things and price happen at these specific times, multiple days out of the week, multiple days out of the month, you start to get that level of confidence that allows you to have more confidence in taking these trades when they're happening live. So with that being said and done, I'm going to get this screenshot. I'm going to send it in the Telegram chat. So if you're not in the Telegram chat, make sure you click the link in the description. Free Telegram chat, 320 members. We're just live every day, getting active every day. If you want to find more, just make sure you join it. It's free knowledge. But if you don't, make sure you just stay live for my live trading sessions every morning where I live trade and just take all my trades live. That's also free knowledge everywhere. But nonetheless, hopefully this video was helpful in any way, shape, or form. If it was, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average. And I'll see you all tomorrow for my next live trading session. So see you in the morning, and everyone be safe.